Good day, kindergarten. This is your third lesson on dinosaurs, and today we will be talking a little bit more about some different dinosaurs. We will complete part of a page together, and the rest we will get you to do on your own. So, to recap, kindergarten, what is a dinosaur? Well, we said that dinosaurs are animals that lived a long, long time ago. And some of these dinosaurs were like reptiles, and some of them were birds. They lived on land, and we said that some were very, very large creatures. Think of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And last week we talked about how there were two types of dinosaurs. There were dinosaurs that ate meat, and we called them carnivores. You're right, kindergarten. And the other kind of dinosaurs were ones that ate plants, which we called herbivores. Great job, kindergarten. Remember herb for herbivores, and herbs are plants. Kindergarten, I forgot to mention this, I think, last week, but do you know what a dinosaur that eats both meat and plants, do you know what we call that type of dinosaur? Well, if you don't know, dinosaurs that eat both plants and eat both meat, we call those omnivores. Okay, but last week we took a look at those two types of dinosaurs, and today we will be taking a look at a little bit more of some different ones. Right now, I would like you to take out your dinosaur booklet and turn to the page that we have on the screen here. At the top of your page, it should say all about dinosaurs. We will complete the fill in the blank together, and I'll show you some pictures of different dinosaurs, okay? So I'm going to take my pointer finger here. You guys can read along with me. A dinosaur is a type of blank that lived over 65 million years ago. Okay, they are now blank, which means they do not exist anymore. So let's break down the first sentence, kindergarten, then we'll fill in the blanks. A dinosaur is a type of blank that lived over 65 million years ago. So we said that a dinosaur can be a bird, but if we really think about it, a dinosaur is pretty much a large, very large reptile. Okay, so a reptile, think of it as your lizards, your snakes, that kind of animal type. So a dinosaur is pretty much a really, really big lizard that lived a long, long, long time ago. So in the blank below, and I'd like you to take out your pencil now, in the first blank you are going to write the word reptile. So that starts with an R. So the next letter is an E. Rep. The next one is the letter P. Rept. The next one is the letter T, and then we have rept. I. We have the letter I. Reptile. And then we have the letter L. And then we actually have a silent final E at the end. Okay, so a dinosaur is a type of reptile that lived over 65 million years ago. Okay, the next sentence says they are now blank, which means they do not exist anymore. So we talked about this term or this word in our first lesson. Why is it that dinosaurs don't exist right now? Well, it's because they are extinct, which means that they don't exist anymore, right? You don't go outside and you see a dinosaur. We just now have fossils or remains from very, very, very long ago. Okay, so we can say that they are now extinct. Extinct, which is spelled E-X-I N T I C T. That's a pretty hard word to spell, kindergarten, but that is how you spell extinct. Okay, everyone, moving on to the box below, it says in the directions here, draw and label different types of dinosaurs. So for this part, I will be showing you some cards of different dinosaurs that we haven't talked about. I'll show you about 4 cards that we'll take a deeper look at. Okay, so the first card, or the first dinosaur I have to show you, this guy is called the Diplodocus. Okay, Diplodocus is one of the longest dinosaurs ever lived. It eats plant and has rake-like teeth. So think of very sharp teeth, kindergarten. Its tail is about 45 feet, which is the longest tail of an animal ever lived on Earth. And they travel in herds. Herds, kindergarten, is just another word for group. So they travel with other Diplodocus dinosaurs as well. Okay, so as you can tell, it is a plant eater, and one of the ways we know that is because of its long neck. Remember, we said that herbivore dinosaurs usually have long necks because they like to reach the very tops of the trees to eat some plants. Okay, so that's the Diplodocus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this, make it smaller, and add it to the box. The next dinosaur I have here is the Ankylosaurus. Okay, this is called the Ankylosaurus, and it has, as you can tell by the picture, it has an armored skin and a tail club that weighs up to 50 kilograms. So as you can see, it has a lot of horns or a lot of spikes on its back. That's what they call armored skin. And the club tail is at the back here, kindergarten. You can see that its tail is shaped differently from different dinosaurs. And this guy weighs up to 50 kilograms. So it says, by swinging its club, it could smash open the skull of a large predator. Ankylosaurus are herbivores, meaning they feed on plants. So even though they had this really big club and they could use it to smash large creatures, okay, that try to eat them, that's what predator means, they actually just feed on plants. Okay, so that is called the Ankylosaurus. So I'm going to minimize that again, and I'll show you another dinosaur. We have the Spinosaurus. There we go. And a Spinosaurus just means a spiny lizard. So as you can tell, it has this really big sheet of armor or bone structure at the back. That's why it's called the spiny lizard. And judging from it, it is a meat eater. So it is called a carnivore. Its length is 40 to 50 feet. It weighs 4 tons or more. It's from the Cretaceous period. And you can, if you saw this dinosaur, kindergarten, long time ago, you would probably see it in parts of Egypt, Morocco, which is around the Africa area. Okay, so that's called the Spinosaurus. So I'm going to put that actually right here. Moving on, we have 2 more that I'd like to show you. And this is called the Velociraptor. So you can say that with me, kindergarten, Velociraptor. Okay, and this was a really fast dinosaur. So as you can tell, it's a speedy thief. Okay, so it's a really fast dinosaur that liked to eat meat. So we call that a carnivore. It was 5 to 6 feet, and it weighed 15 to 33 pounds, which was not that heavy at all. It's from the Cretaceous period, so the same as the Spinosaurus. And if you were to see this dinosaur way, way, way long ago, you would probably find it in parts of Mongolia, Russia, and China, or in other words, in the Asia region. Okay, so that's a velociraptor. It's almost like a small T-Rex. So I'm going to put that there. Now I have one more dinosaur to show you, which is called the iguanodon. Okay, you can say that with me again. Iguanodon. And this is pretty much, when I think of it, it's just a really big iguana. Okay, a much larger iguana. So its meaning is iguana tooth. It eats plants, which means it's a herbivore. Its length is, or how long it is 20 to 33 feet. It weighs 4 to 5 tons, which is humongous. And it belongs in the Cretaceous period again. If you were to find this dinosaur long, long, long ago, you would probably find it in Europe, such as England, Belgium, and Germany. You can find it in parts of northern Africa and the USA. So you would find it in North America. Okay, so that's the iguanodon. Now that I've shown you some dinosaurs, kindergarten, you will now draw and label at least 2 different types of dinosaurs. It doesn't have to be the ones that we talked about today, so it doesn't have to be these 5 dinosaurs. If you really liked one of the dinosaurs that we talked about last week, such as the T-Rex or the Stegosaurus, then you can draw that as well. However, it must be 2 different types. You can't just have one T-Rex and then draw another T-Rex. We would like you to pick 2 different ones. It could also be a bird as well. Last week we talked about the pterodactyl. Pterodactyls are types of dinosaurs. Once you are done that, you can then move on to the page before it, which has the picture of the Triceratops, and it looks like this. Okay, so your job here, kindergarten, is to cut and glue the boxes of different body parts and put them in the correct spots. So for example, one of the boxes down here says horns. Now looking at my Triceratops that I have, where do you think my horns would go? That's right. It would be right at the top of the head because that's where we would usually find horns. So if you locate the horns on the Triceratops, kindergarten, you have the horns, the spiky pieces of bone, up at the top of its head. And so I would glue the box or the piece of paper horns in this box. There is one body part, kindergarten, that you may not know, and that is frill. So I'm going to point it with my laser pointer here on the screen. Frill, okay? A frill, kindergarten, is pretty much bone that can be found at the neck that supports the dinosaur. So now that I mentioned that the frill goes at the neck, it's a type of bone at the neck, where do you think we're going to glue that piece of paper? Yeah, you got it, kindergarten. So the neck area would be found right here. And this kind of fanned out shape over here, kindergarten, is called the frill. And that helps support the dinosaur. So you can do that right now. I'm going to magically glue the pieces of paper on the screen here. Oops. So we have horns. And then we said that the frill goes at the neck. So I'm going to glue it, magically glue it, and put it in the correct box. Okay, I would like you to go ahead and finish those 2 pages. Remember, you only have to draw and label 2 dinosaurs. You don't need to label the different body parts of those dinosaurs, but we would just like you to write the name. Okay, so if you said a T-Rex and a Ankylosaurus, then you just need to write those names down. Once you are done that, then you can move on to cutting and gluing the different body parts of the Triceratops. We will only have 2 more lessons to go for a dinosaur unit kindergarten, and next class we will be talking about fossils and what a paleontologist is. That's a really big word, paleontologist, okay? We'll talk more about that next week, but I will talk to you again soon. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.